back to my channel, welcome back to Vlogmas, and hello if you're new here. Today, as a follow-on from my gestational diabetes video that I did a couple of days ago, I just wanted to show a kind of typical what I eat in a day kind of video. It's definitely been a minefield, and as mentioned in that other video, definitely check out the Gestational Diabetes UK Facebook group, because that is where I got the majority of my help from in picking what I could eat and what I couldn't eat. The NHS guidelines of what you can eat, everything pretty much on that list sent my numbers sky high. So bear that in mind and don't be too downhearted if you're following what's on their list and it's not really working for you. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you find it useful, especially if you have gestational diabetes, because yeah, I was an emotional wreck at the beginning until I could find things that I liked that I could actually eat as well. Don't get me wrong, I still eat a little bit of chocolate every now and again, and I still have a few sweet treats dotted out throughout the week, but nowhere near as much as what I used to have. And I've also tried the Gestational Diabetes UK, can't quite think what it's called, but it's like supposedly a chocolate mousse which you make with whipped double cream and dark chocolate, and honest to God, it's amazing. I would highly recommend it if you haven't tried it, even if you don't have gestational diabetes. Like, it is really tasty. So yeah, that is definitely one I would recommend if you are struggling with not being able to have all of the chocolate that you want, especially over this festive season. But without further ado, here is what I eat in a typical day. So I'm starting off the day with obviously breakfast. I'm going to have the whole grain wheat Bixes, these are from Lidl, and also the fruity linseed mix, also from Lidl. And I limit myself to one of these because surprisingly a lot of people can't tolerate the Weetabix of any kind, but I have been able to, which I'm really happy about. So I'm just going to add a bit of the linseed mix on the top. This just adds a little bit extra protein to my breakfast, which is definitely needed when you have gestational diabetes. Then I'm just going to pop some hot water over the top to soften it, and then add some milk as well before mixing it all together. This is just how I prefer to have my Weetabix, and to be honest, I think this has helped in how well my numbers stay after breakfast with having this particular breakfast. I haven't shown it here, but I just have this with water as I do with all of my main meals. It's then time for my mid-morning snack, and I'm having this original rye crisp bread with some of the mature strong cheese, which I absolutely love. And I'm going to pair this with some grapes and a yoghurt as well. The yoghurt is from Lidl's and they don't spike my numbers. Then it's time for lunch, and I'm going to have the Covent Garden soup. This is the tomato and basil one. They do a few different flavours, but I have heard that certain flavours do spike you more, so it's always worth just buying one at a time just to check how your numbers do. I don't normally take this long to get into the packet, but this one was just a bit of a struggle, typically because I was filming it at the time. I only have half a carton at a time, so I'm just going to pop this in a pan and pop it on the hob to warm through thoroughly. And then I'm going to get out the mature cheddar cheese again. There is a lot of cheese in this diet, I can tell you. And I'm just going to grate quite a pile because cheese is good for gestational diabetes. I will warn you, it is not so great for the heartburn and indigestion, but as long as baby is healthy and happy, that's all that matters to me. And as you can see, that is quite a big pile of cheese, but we're just going to roll with it. And once the soup is ready, I just pour it all over the cheese so that it starts to melt it down. and then I will also just mix it in. It doesn't look very appetizing, but it tastes amazing, and my numbers end up so good after having this meal. Again, I'm just going to have it with water. Any meal that I have to test with, I just have with water rather than a cup of tea or a fizzy drink, just to try and keep those numbers low where I can. Mid-afternoon snack time, and it's a cheese string with a couple of rich tea biscuits and my cup of tea. And then before we know it, it's dinner time, so I'm going to have one of these both in one tortilla wraps from Lidl, along with quite a lot of mayonnaise, again a gestational diabetes firm favourite, and we're back out with the cheese yet again, which I will be grating, and of course add in a bit of veg, so I've got some lettuce, and I'm also going to cook up some little bits of chicken just to give that meat and protein that I need. So here is what it's looking like, and then I'm just going to go in with some paprika and just sprinkle that over the top just to add a little bit more flavour before I wrap it up and sit down to enjoy. So I hope you found that useful. It's just showing a typical day, what I eat, and to be honest, with the gestational diabetes, I found that I'm kind of eating similar things over and over. I've got about 2 or 3 breakfasts that I have that I can choose from. Again, with lunch 2 or 3, and dinner I'm a little bit more lenient with. I can have sausage and mash as long as it's really high meat content sausages, and a tiny bit of mash. I have a lot of vegetables, but again, do your research, because some of the vegetables such as peas aren't actually very good for you because they have too much sugar in them, you wouldn't believe. And then yeah, I didn't actually capture on here, but I did want to mention it. I do also have an evening snack as well, an hour or 2 after dinner, where I will have something like another yogurt or a cheese string, Quavers. I can get away with half a bar of Kinder Bueno, so it's not completely restrictive, but I have found that I can have those nicer treats in the evening as opposed to the morning. The morning is just a no-go for me. And then right before bed I also have a Baby Bell, which I'm not actually a fan of, but it just helps with my fasting levels. Some people have apple cider vinegar, but I can't stomach that, especially with the HG sickness still at its height as well. So a Baby Bell before bed is all I can stomach, and that just gets my fasting levels okay-ish, ready for the morning. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful and you enjoyed it, and it gave you a little bit of an insight into the kind of things that I'm having to eat at the moment with gestational diabetes, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video. Bye bye.